What's happening, everybody? This is Rob Swanson. I want to welcome you to another episode of The Real Freedom Show. This is episode number 1. Now, we did episode 0, and episode 0 was kind of just talking about what this show is all about. It was kind of setting up the idea of who is this show for, and if you've made it to show number 1, that means that this is the perfect deal for you. So this is the show, as we've talked about money, business, and life. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about real freedom. We're going to talk about real freedom. We're going to talk about you creating real freedom in your life and in the life of your family and in the generations of people that come after your lineage. This is a show about real freedom. Now, we're going to dive into a whole mess of things that we need to be talking about and understanding as it relates to real freedom. And I'm going to tell you why, because about 33 minutes ago, I got a message, a notification on my phone. Okay. Think about this technology world that we live in. I got a message on my phone that says that the Dow Jones is down over 600 points and people are freaking out. All of the major news publications across the country are writing their stories and they're talking about how the Dow is down. Well, this is the same week that after a massive run-up in the cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin is down. It's down like 60% from a month ago, all right? And so here's my point on this. If you're invested in the Dow, or if you're invested in the stock market, the NASDAQ, in funds, if you're invested in stocks and bonds and things, if you're invested in cryptocurrency, can you control it? Do you control the fact that as the markets close today, they're down 600 points? No, you don't have any control. And let me tell you what a lack of control is. A lack of control is a lack of freedom. Because if you cannot control your income and your investments, you lack freedom. Now, let's talk about this because this is kind of an important thing for us to break apart. If we're going to talk about real freedom and what real freedom is, we got to figure out what the definition of freedom is to begin with. And we just discussed a little bit about control. And I will tell you that as an entrepreneur, as a real estate investor and a guy that's been in business, bought and sold business, invested in real estate all across the country for over 20 years. 20 years, I know. I look pretty good for 20 years. For those of you guys listening to us on iTunes today, you are not seeing how good I look, but those of you watching on YouTube and maybe some of our other video platforms, 20 years. 20 years I've been doing this. And in 20 years, I have formed some opinions about what I believe the right way to approach wealth building, cash flow generation. I've become opinionated, and I am happy to share my opinions with you. And here's my hope. My hope through the Real Freedom Show is that you will hear that my opinions are not just opinions for the sake of being opinions. My opinions are opinions that are based on knowledge and a study of this information, knowledge and a study of real estate investing and business and all of the things that ultimately lead to creating, building wealth, creating cash flow, and creating real freedom. It's a study of those things. So I've gained knowledge, and that knowledge has then been put into action. Because here's the thing: you're never going to realize and create real freedom until you take action. Until you take action, you will never create real freedom. And so that action is actually created and developed experience. I have a lot of experience in doing a lot of different things, mostly in the real estate investing world, which is a space that I love. I love what real estate investing, and I don't care if you want to be an active investor or a completely passive investor looking to build strictly passive residual income. Active or passive investor, that knowledge and that study and that absorption and that focus on gaining knowledge is the thing that led me to taking the action, because you take actions on the things that you get knowledgeable about. when you get comfortable with an idea, when you get comfortable with real estate investing, when you get comfortable with creating cash flow, when you get comfortable with building wealth, that's when what happens? You take action and you start to gain experience. I'm going to tell you one of the most important things that you can do to generate real freedom is master the art of asking questions. If you can master the art of asking questions, you can ask your way to wealth. That sounds crazy, but it is absolutely 100% true. You can ask your way to wealth. So here's what we're going to do. That knowledge creates experience, which forms an opinion that is based on the wisdom of doing things right and doing things wrong, frankly. And here on the Real Freedom Show, I'm going to tell you the things that I've done wrong, the things that I've done right, the things that have worked well, the things that have not worked well. I'm going to be an open book because I want you to learn the information that you can use then in your business and in your life and in your investment strategies to go out and create real freedom for you and your family. So the definition of freedom, if we just look at the dictionary definition, I have it printed and written down right here on my desk. It's the power or the right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. It's the right, it's the power. It's the power. Real freedom is the power, which means you have the control. Your power. The power or the right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. Nobody else is telling you what you have to do. You don't have to make a certain decision because you're fearful of the repercussions. You don't have to do this, that, or the other thing because you have the power and are in control of your choices. That is real freedom. Now, the Real Freedom Show then is about money, it's about business, and it's about life, and it's about helping you develop real freedom in all areas of those in your life. All segments of your money, your business, and your life is what the Real Freedom Show is all about. Now, I can tell you that on the business side, I've been doing real estate investing. I've been a self-employed entrepreneur for over 20 years. On the life side, that's on the money and the business side, right? On the life side, what I have done is I've been married for over 23 years. I've got 3 kids, 1 in college and 2 in high school. And so we've gone through a lot of ups, downs, and sideways on the life side to figure out how do you navigate this whole thing called life. And to me, it's all about freedom. Now, with freedom, some of the greatest freedom that you can have comes with some constraint. And that constraint is focus. So the idea here is that if you can understand the wide open component of freedom, and you can get your hands around how focus and constraint actually helps you get there, you can then focus on doing the right things on a regular basis that are going to help you accomplish the goal and get there faster. So through all of these years of real estate investing, I've bought and held rentals. I've fixed and flipped hundreds of houses. I've done over 1,000 deals wholesaling across the country. I've personally done deals in over 20 states and over 30 different cities across the country. And if we take my story back a little bit, and I've talked about this story a lot on different podcasts, on different shows, when I've been a guest or wherever I've been. And if I take my story back, I remember that moment in my career as a solopreneur, as a new business owner, as the guy that says, I'm going to provide for my family on my own. I'm not going to take a job from someone else. I'm on my own. And I remember my feet hitting the floor on a Monday morning and not knowing exactly what to do. Think about that. That is the thing that prevents most people from ever achieving real freedom. It's the fear, the simple fear of not knowing what comes next. Now, my personality is very fear accepting, if you want to say it that way. I have a high tolerance for risk, and I'm very accepting of fear. It actually drives me, and I thrive on this idea of pushing through a fear that I have. It's why I was a wrestler from the time I was 5 years old growing up. That fear of stepping out onto the mat against an opponent where it's just me and the other guy, and we're going to battle head to head, actually drives me. Now, my wife, on the other hand, is much more into not having fear. She doesn't want to have fear in her life. She wants stability. She's got that gland somewhere in here that's the stability gland. And if you're married, if you have a significant other, I'm sure that one of you probably has the acceptance of fear like I do, and one of you probably has the, gosh, I wish we had the stability that my wife has. Now, here's the thing. I believe that stability is probably what most people put their faith in stability in is not really stable. It's just handing control away because it's easier for someone else to control your real freedom than it is for you to take the responsibility and take the control for your freedom on yourself. And so what we at the Real Freedom Show are all about is about handing you the controls. Now, understand, listen to me, this doesn't mean you have to be an active investor, full-time investor. It doesn't mean that you have to quit your job. What it means is that you have to begin doing the things in your life that generates real freedom. And I believe that you will not retire until you generate and create passive income that pays you on a recurring residual monthly basis in your life. You will not retire until you create passive residual income, money that starts to flow into your life on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, whether you're working or not. That's the key. That's the secret. The secret to real wealth is you deciding to take charge. The secret to real freedom is you taking control of those things. Now, my mission, if we look at my journey of starting and not knowing what to do when my feet hit the ground on Monday morning, all the way to pursuing education, grabbing as much information as I can get. I'm glad you're here listening to the Real Freedom Show. This show is going to help you gain that information and learn more and more about it. We're going to be opening up a Q&A segment of the show where I'm going to be taking listener questions. You're going to be able to call or text in your questions, and I'm going to take them right over the show, right here on the Real Freedom Show. The things that we're going to be doing moving forward is going to take you from when my feet hit the ground to not knowing to pursuing and getting focused on education. And my 20 years of knowledge, experience, and the wisdom that I've gained has allowed me to synthesize down the things that I can teach you to give you the most important stuff first, so that you begin to understand how to create cash flow, how to build wealth, how to invest in real estate, and you understand it, you know it, you've gained knowledge, and that knowledge allows you to take action. That's the bridge. The bridge between knowledge and action is the thing that I want for you more than anything else, because I know that for me, that was the key. So I also remember the day when I swung my feet to the side of the bed. It was a Monday morning, and they hit the ground, and I knew exactly what I needed to do to be successful as a real estate investor that day. There was no question. I knew exactly what I needed to do to be successful as a real estate investor on that day, and I never looked back. Because once you figure it out, once you understand the primary goal, the primary objective, and the tasks and the things that you do in order to create real freedom, in order to create cash flow, in order to create that passive income in your life, you can take the actions necessary. And that's what this show is all about. My whole goal here is to teach you, talk to you, have a conversation with you, and help you achieve real freedom. My real estate investing business then, once I figured out what to do, has grown over the years. Through the crash in 2008, I had ridden the real estate investing wave up to the peak. I recognized we were kind of at a peak. I sold a lot of my properties. The crash happened, and I put my first large real estate investment fund together in the heat of the crash, when Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers and AIG were all failing, and the government was trying to bail them out and figure out what to do, and everybody's panicking. I'm sitting back and saying, hey, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure this is the right opportunity. I'm pretty sure now is the time to go all in. So I put a big real estate investing fund together with a $175 million capital group out of Stamford, Connecticut. Those guys came in, they capitalized us. We were the active operator, and we went out and did a lot of real estate deals. And we did that through the valley and the bottom side of the real estate cycle. And then we have ridden that cycle back up till today. And where we sit today is not at the bottom. We are definitely back up towards the top, getting back towards the top. So the keys to real estate investing success today are two things. You've got to buy on cash flow and understand how to value cash flow, because buying rental properties, investing in real estate, becoming a passive private lender, doing owner financing, all of those things, you know what it boils down to? It boils down to one thing. It boils down to being an income stream. So it's an income stream. And if you can understand how to create an income stream and get in the middle of an income stream, you can create cash flow, you can build wealth. That's what this show, again, is all about. And so we rode through the markets up, and I know that there's going to be another turn. I know there's going to be another crash. Real estate is a cyclical business. Now, it's pocketed. Generally, in any city at any time, there's high pockets, low pockets. There's things going on at a big picture macro real estate viewpoint. Market moves happen at a national level, and they synthesize down to a zip code and a neighborhood level. And so as a real estate investor, if you can pick macroeconomics, pick the right markets, and then if you can understand and track and monitor what's going on inside of those markets and have the knowledge to take the actions and make the right moves. And in today where we are in the markets, if you're buying based on cash flow, you're setting yourself up for success, because if you understand the exit strategies out of an income stream like real estate is, where the values of the real estate are less important and the value of the income stream is what creates the value in the investment, whether you keep it or you sell that income stream, once you understand these concepts, folks, let me tell you, life becomes fun, real estate becomes fun, investing becomes fun, and you can create real freedom. Which brings us to today. We have now launched our new real estate investing franchise called Real Estate from Anywhere. If you're an active real estate investor, you're going to want to pay attention to what we're doing. If you're a passive real estate investor, meaning you've got a job or you've already retired, you've made your money, and you just want to park cash into real estate and create income streams, you want to pay attention to what we're doing. The Real Estate from Anywhere brand is a real estate investing franchise that we have in markets across the country with active operators right now who said, you know what? I've tried to build my own real estate investing business. Maybe I've even had some success in building my own real estate investing business. But you know what? After I saw the Real Estate from Anywhere business model, after I saw the income streams, after I saw the margins, after I saw the things that we have set up, and the program that we have laid out, and the business that we have created that we hand to our franchisees. Right now, let me do the quick math in my head. Right now, we have about 70% of our new franchisees had an existing real estate investing business prior to coming on board with Real Estate from Anywhere. They were already real estate investors that came out and said, I want to check out what you guys are doing because I want to take everything elevated to the next level, and I want the systems and the processes and the training and the support to do it. And a training program, a coaching program, or whatever isn't cutting it. I want to plug in to an actual system that has an actual business built around supporting the success of the entire greater community. So our mission with Real Estate from Anywhere is to help over 1 million people create and start their path to financial freedom through real estate investing. That's our mission. And the whole vision of the world as we see it, the things that we talk about when you walk outside that door here in my studio and you walk over into our bullpen area where we have an acquisitions and sales and leasing team. If you walk into the front section where we have our media team set up, if you walk into the back where we have our conference room and our sales group, there's a theme around this office. There's a theme around our brand, and it's all pointed on this vision of helping families create real freedom. Our vision is families with real freedom. And I don't know where you sit into that picture right now. Maybe you've already created real freedom. Maybe you haven't. If you haven't, stick with this show. I'm going to teach you how to do it. We're going to talk about the specific things that you can do today, tomorrow, the next day, to get to that next level of creating real freedom. Now, if you're brand new to real estate investing, one of the upcoming shows that I'm going to actually do on the Real Freedom Show, one of our early shows, I'm going to actually dissect and break down the real estate investing business and how to analyze it and how to understand what makes a good deal a good deal. We're also going to talk about what does it take to build an actual real estate investing business. These are some of the topics that are coming up in the subsequent shows. And I'm really excited to start just peeling back the layers of the onion and help you get where you want to go. You can take this business in one of two ways. You can be an active real estate operator, an investor that does deals on a daily basis. Or you can be a passive investor that sits back and says, you know what, I'm going to do this passively. I want to take the capital I have and I want to invest it and I want to return on my investment. The active guy says, I'm going to take my effort, my brain, my knowledge, my skills, and my work ethic, and I'm going to go create something from scratch and take it to the next level. Active versus passive. I want both of you paying attention to what we talk about here on the Real Freedom Show because this information is going to help both of you. What am I? I'm both. I'm an active investor. I'm also a passive investor. One of the cool things that you're probably going to hear over time, and it's outside the studio door, so it's a little bit light. We don't hear it super well. But down the hall into our sales bullpen, where we've got our acquisitions guys and our property dispositions guys and our leasing team and our construction managers, we've got a big bell on the wall. And I'll probably do a walkthrough of the office at one point and share a video and show it to you. But every time a property is purchased, every time a property is sold, every time a property is leased out, every time we finish a construction project, every time a new franchisee comes on board into our network, we're ringing the bell. And it's a party around this place, I got to tell you, because we're all focused on creating real freedom, not only for ourselves and each other here in the office, but as well for you too. And so I want to wrap up episode number 1 of the Real Freedom Show, and I want to talk about a couple of things that I think are pretty important. And this is rich versus poor mindset. And I've got a sheet of things that I want us to talk about. The rich invest their money. The rich invest their money, and the poor spend their money. I want you to think about, for you, where are you? Are you investing your money, or are you spending your money? Rich people invest it. Rich people also think with both in mind, whereas poor people think the other or the other in mind. Poor people are thinking, well, I could do either this or that. Rich people think, well, I can do both. What did I just get done saying? I'm both. I'm an active investor that builds passive residual income. I'm both. I'm on the rich side of the thinking, folks, and I want you to be on the rich side of thinking. The rich expands. The poor contracts. Is your bank account going up or down? Is your work ethic going up or down? Are you expanding your sphere of influence and your audience and your network? Are you expanding or are you contracting? Rich makes things happen, and poor things happen to them. Do you make things happen, or do things happen to you? We have a saying around here that says, create intentional results. And here's what I mean by that. Do something on purpose to get what you want. Do something on purpose to get what you want. The rich make things happen. Now, the rich read and study. We talked about a focus on accumulating knowledge. The rich read and they study. They accumulate knowledge. The poor refuse to study. The poor sit and watch The Simpsons. Listen, I like The Simpsons. I like to watch a show every once in a while. But you know what? I won't go do that until I've taken care of growing my knowledge and increasing my knowledge. Putting something up here is more important than going and spending a time watching a sitcom. The rich pay attention to the future. The poor pay attention to the past. I don't care what your past has been. I don't care where you sit right now today, financially, mentally, spiritually, physically. The rich in mind, doesn't even just mean money, the rich in mind are looking to the future, looking forward and saying, what's next? What can I do? What can I improve? We have a rule around here, and it's in our core values, and that is to increase our knowledge, learn and grow daily. That's one of the core values. If you're going to work here at this company, and if you're going to work with me, you're going to work on increasing your knowledge. Grow daily. The rich think in solutions. The poor think in problems. Are you a solution person or a problem person? I hope you're a solution person, because a solution person gets stuff done. The rich buys time, and the poor wastes time. I want you to be investing your time, your efforts, your resources into buying time. Time is the only commodity that shrinks and goes away to a point for every single person on planet Earth. What are you doing with your time? The rich create multiple flows and streams of income. The poor have a single stream. Poor people have one stream of income. They get paid. W-2 job, their income. Rich people create multiple streams of income. See, as an entrepreneur, it's really funny to me. I like to teach. You know, I'm an educator. You heard that in episode 0. I like to teach. It's one of the things that makes me the happiest, is talking and teaching and taking my knowledge and experience and sharing it with others. And it's really funny, this whole social media sphere, where when you become an educator, you get classified and labeled as a guru. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that. I like being called a guru. That's okay. You get classified as a guru, and then everybody comes out and says, well, if you're so good at doing it, why are you teaching it? Well, it's called multiple streams of income. And guess what? I'm good at doing it. I'm really freaking good at doing it. And I really freaking like teaching it. And that's why I do this. I really enjoy it. If you were to ask my wife, as I said in episode 0, what's Rob's superpower? My wife, without question, without hesitation, is going to say teaching. I like to take complicated subject matter, like real estate investing, break it down, and make it simple. As we dive into some of the technical conversations and some of the technical shows, you're going to see that that is something that I really enjoy doing. The rich pay themselves first, and the poor pay others first. The rich pay themselves first. What that means, you've got to go to the top of the income stream. You've got to get paid, and you've got to learn to invest that money. That money that you put out is going to come back to you bigger, and that allows you to grow. That allows you to create freedom. And finally, the rich are goal-oriented, and the poor are work-driven. Goal-oriented, goal-driven, and work-oriented, work-driven. Rich, poor. Which are you? I hope you're goal-driven. What I'm going to leave you with on the show today is the direction to go create your goals. What does 10 years from today look like for you? I want you to think that far out. What does 10 years look like? Then I want you to step it back and I want you to say, what does 3 years look like? Then I want you to step it back and I want you to say, what does 1 year look like? Then I want you to step it back and I want you to say, what does the next 90 days look like? And then I want you to step it back and I want you to say, what do I have to do in the next month to be on track for 90 days, to be on track for a year, to be on track for 3 years, to be on track for 10 years, all the way back to what do you do today? What do you have to do today? The tasks that you have to do today that actually are going to help you accomplish that goal and make sure that you hit the target 10 years out. Now, you're going to create milestones along the way that are going to be success milestones that you're going to be excited about, that drive you to the next 90 days and the next 90 days and the next 90 days. One of the things that we have inside of our franchise is what we call the 90K in 90 days challenge. When our new franchisee operators come on board inside their territory from the day of their first day of operation, they have 90 days to enter the club. That means they have 90 days to make $90,000 and join the 90K club inside the Real Estate from Anywhere franchise. That's goal-driven. They're goal-oriented. Where are you? I hope this has motivated you. I hope this has given you some things to think about. I hope you're on board with this idea of creating real freedom for you, your family, and the generations that come next. If you are, stick around. This is show number 1, and we've got a lot more to come. My name is Rob Swanson, and we'll see you on the next show. Bye-bye.